Begin tonight's forum, and we start with Delegate John O'Bannon and his opponent Tom Shields. Thank you for approaching the lecterns. Delegate O'Bannon is a Republican. He's the delegate for the 73rd District. Tom Shields is a Democrat. The 73rd District includes Richmond and Henrico County. Delegate O'Bannon, if you'd like, you can start your 1-minute introduction.
Thank you very much, Bill and Dan, and your sponsors. I want to thank you for choosing to do this tonight. My name is John O'Bannon. I came to college here at the University of Richmond, met a girl from Metro Park. We got married. We've raised 3 children in the Henrico school system, and we have 3 grandchildren. 9 years ago, I ran for office. It's been the most exciting thing I've ever done. I am a medical doctor. Mark Warner and John Hager put me on the Secure Virginia panel. We've been working to make the state safer. We've been working against the bird flu and got the swine flu, but I think we'll be okay. We tried to rein in the payday lenders. We worked hard on healthcare issues, youth tobacco smoking, childhood obesity. It has been a great privilege to serve these folks, and look forward to tonight's debate and to Election Day on November the 3rd. Thank you so much.
Shields?
Yes, I'd like to also thank WCVE and all the rest of the organizers for this event. It really shows democracy in action. I'm running because I think we need a new generation of independent leadership. A generation that looks out for the children, such as mine, Ella, Lydia, and Ivy. And if they're listening tonight, I'd like to say hello to them. A new generation of independent leadership that really sets aside partisanship, that rolls up your sleeves and gets things done for this district and for the state. One that really puts jobs first, goes ahead and believes in education, and really tries to save waste for taxpayer dollars, to save taxpayer dollars. At the end of the day, I think there are real differences between myself and my opponent. He voted to eliminate funding that would have helped 2,700 jobs at Camunda, to reject $125 million in stimulus money that would have helped the unemployed and those who are trying to create jobs, and also would have helped eliminate $500 million in K-12 education. A new generation of independent leadership will not do that, and will look out for those in this district. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you. Our first question is for Delegate O'Bannon. You'll have 2 minutes to respond, and our timers from the League of Women Voters will hold up a card to let you know when your time is expiring. At the end of your allotted time, the timekeeper will hold up a sign that will stop. If you go beyond your allotted time, Mr. Miller and I have been designated to move along. And we'll go on to the next candidate. Delegate O'Bannon, your first question. Henrico County has lost major employers in Circuit City, Land America, Mondo, and others in the past year. How do you propose helping to replace that large job base and the tax revenue that comes with it?
Well, there's no question that the economy and jobs is our job number 1 in the General Assembly. I will tell you what we did this last session. This last session, we expanded the unemployment insurance 2 times to 59 weeks. We also made provisions for employees from small employers to get 60% of their COBRA made for them. We have expanded the program that's called the Mega Projects Program, which is the program that we use to get Rolls-Royce down to Prince George County. We also put some monies back into the Governor's Opportunity Fund, and we took some money that we had and we put it into tourism, which is a 7-to-1 return because tourism is so important to our area. The commodity issue is important to understand because their request was for an early acceleration of a payment that they had not earned. And Kirk Cox, who's chair of that committee, went to the company, asked him if that was a do or die. He did not say that. And so we did not give him that early $14 million. What happened then was the company in Germany, the parent company, actually went bankrupt. And so if we had given them that money, we'd have had $14 million of our taxpayer money, the Henrico taxpayers' money, going to Germany. So at the end of the day, I believe that was the right decision.
Shields, how do you respond?
Yeah,
and let me just add, if you need the question again, or after.
No, I think it's a really important question. We've lost 16,000 jobs in Henrico County. My number 1 priority from day 1 will be creating good paying jobs for this region and for this district. I'll go ahead and try to provide tax incentives to attract businesses, tax cuts for small businesses, and also help people get back on their feet by funding community colleges and making sure JSARC, which is in this district on Parham Road, it gets people are going back to that to community colleges, something like 17,000 enrolled just this semester. I think at the end of the day, there's differences between John and myself. I would have helped those people come on and get back on their feet. And just to say that that would have been tied up in a German bankruptcy court, tell that to the people that have lost their jobs. I think at the end of the day, John knew on the House floor there was a rigorous debate about Comenda. He knew this was an issue, and he decided to vote against the jobs that were part of that company and the people that live in this district. We need to do better than that. I think a new generation of leadership will go out there in the district, roll up their sleeves, get the jobs done for people that really want to get back to work, and make sure that people know that they have someone to listen to that's going to be working on their behalf.
Thank you, Mr. Shields. Your second question, do you believe there's a so-called gun show loophole in Virginia allowing unchecked citizens to buy firearms at gun shows? And if so, does that need to be addressed by the General Assembly?
Yes, and this is an issue that I've actually talked to different citizens across the district on, and it's an issue I think that they're very concerned about. It's an issue I think that needs to be addressed. There is a gun show loophole. If I was in office, I would go ahead and close that gun show loophole. Again, the difference in my opponent voted not to close that gun show loophole. Also voted in favor of allowing people to take in guns into bars, where my children might be or your family might be. At the end of the day, it's a family's issue. It's an issue about safety. It's an issue about where do you feel comfortable and what do you feel comfortable in this Commonwealth. And one of those issues is closing this loophole, and I would vote in favor of it.
Yeah, thank you very much. This issue is important. I will tell you that we have had bills before the General Assembly for years on this issue. They have not, the General Assembly has not seen fit to change the current laws which exist. There are adequate laws to protect the public, and it is a public safety issue. But this idea that if a family brings an antique pistol to a trading show, that you have to go through a federal gun show check to sell that gun to a neighbor or to a family member, I don't think it is valid. The issue of the guns, the folks who have valid concealed carry permits have been through a very rigorous process to get those permits. And those folks now, if they want to go into a restaurant where you sell alcohol, have to leave that gun in the glove compartment of the car. And so there are fair questions on both sides of this, but it seems to me like if those folks choose to carry that weapon to protect themselves, and they do not drink alcohol, because that was the bill that passed the House of Delegates, that would be a reasonable thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
While the two candidates return to their seats, we will move on to the